Welcome to the deep dive. If you follow C9, or if you're an Australian business owner or C-level executive, this one's definitely for you.
Yes, today we're doing a strategic deep dive.
Uh-huh.
We're looking squarely at Melbourne retailers, service providers, anyone really struggling with that frustrating mobile user experience.
That slow, clunky site experience. And crucially, how you can avoid those, well, catastrophic project disasters that happen when you rush the tech development side of things. The pain point is pretty clear, isn't it? Mobile shopping, mobile interaction, it's booming. Everyone knows that.
Absolutely.
But picture your customer. They might be on the tram heading home trying to buy something, or maybe grabbing a quick coffee in the city.
Trying to get something done quickly.
And your site just crawls, images take forever, checkout hangs. Maybe it fails right at the end. It's incredibly frustrating for them.
And it's more than just, a bit of annoyance in the moment. That frustration leads directly to high bounce rates.
Which isn't just one lost sale.
No, not at all. It damages your brand reputation. You potentially lose that customer for good.
Yeah.
The immediate issue feels like the slow site, sure. But the real trap, it's how businesses react. They feel stuck between the site they know isn't working and the idea of building, say, expensive native apps.
Which seems like a huge hurdle. High friction, big costs.
Exactly. And that pressure, that feeling of being stuck, it leads to rushed decisions. Panic, almost.
The classic, we need this fixed now. Just get me a quick quote, an indicative price so we can start building.
And that, right there, asking for that quick quote without proper groundwork, that's probably the most dangerous first step you can take.
Why is it so risky? It feels like you're getting the ball rolling.
Because those indicative quotes, given without any real discovery, any deep dive into what's actually needed, they're basically guesswork. They're built entirely on assumptions, incomplete details. A developer might throw out a number, say, $30,000, maybe 2 months.
And suddenly the board thinks, great, we've got a number, a timeline, certainty.
But it's false certainty. And the reality we see play out again and again, it often leads to financial trouble.
Right. That $30,000 quote, based on nothing solid.
It easily doubles.
Yeah.
Suddenly it's a $60,000 project because critical things were missed up front. Integrations, specific user needs, you name it.
And the timeline.
That 2-month promise, it stretches. 6 months later, everyone's stressed, frustrated, the budget's blown.
And it does more than just hurt the finances, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It completely erodes trust within the team, trust with developers. Project morale just tanks.
Because you rushed. You rushed without real planning, without defining the actual problem you were trying to solve for the customer.
Exactly. You end up with expensive rework, missed requirements, maybe even a final solution that doesn't even fix the original issue.
So if rushing and grabbing quick quotes is the path to disaster, what's the smart alternative? How do businesses tackle that poor mobile UX effectively?
Well, this is where the technology conversation often turns to progressive web apps, PWAs.
Okay, PWAs. We hear that term a lot now. Why are they seen as such a good fit, particularly for, say, Melbourne retailers or service providers?
Because they directly address that core mobile UX problem, the slowness, the clunkiness.
Yeah.
But without the massive overhead and complexity of native app development. They kind of bridge the gap.
Bridge the gap. How so? What makes them different from just a mobile website or a full native app?
The key thing is the user experience. A well-built PWA looks and feels remarkably like a native app. Smooth transitions, fast loading.
But without the download hassle.
Precisely. It loads directly in the mobile browser, so your customer doesn't have to go find it in an app store, wait for it to download, install it, sign up again. All that friction is gone.
Can users still get that app on the phone feel? Like an icon on the home screen?
Yes, absolutely. With usually just a single tap, they can add the PWA icon right to their home screen. It bypasses the whole App Store process, but gives them that easy access point.
Okay, that removes a major barrier. What about performance? You mentioned speed. We talked about connectivity issues, like in the CBD or on the train lines. Does a PWA help there?
It really does. That's a core strength. PWAs use advanced caching techniques. This means they can often function surprisingly well, even with patchy or non-existent internet.
So if your customer walks into a basement shop or gets stuck in a lift,
They might still be able to browse products they've already loaded
yeah,
or access certain information. It keeps them engaged, prevents that sudden drop-off just because the signal flickered. That's huge for conversion.
and for the business side, the C-level execs listening, there must be cost implications compared to native apps.
Oh, big time. Think about native apps. You usually need separate development teams, separate code bases for iOS, for Android, maybe even the web version too. That's a massive ongoing cost.
Right, multiple streams of development and maintenance.
With a PWA, you generally maintain one code base. It's a web application, fundamentally. That drastically cuts down development and, crucially, ongoing maintenance costs. Plus, they often update themselves automatically in the background. Your customer is always using the latest version. Less support hassle, lower dev costs for updates. The finance team tends to like that.
Okay. Lower friction for users, better performance, offline capability, lower maintenance costs. Sounds good. Do you lose features compared to native apps, like push notifications?
Nope, you can still have key engagement features. PWAs support push notifications. So a boutique, for instance, could send out an alert about a weekend sale, and it appears right on the customer's phone, just like a native app notification.
Okay, so the technology, PWAs, it's powerful. But we started by talking about the dangers of rushing. Even with the right tech, rushing the implementation is still a risk, right?
Absolutely. You can have the best tech in the world, but if you implement it badly, in a panic, you'll still end up with problems.
So how do you combine PWAs with a process that actually works? One that avoids that budget blowout we discussed?
Process. It always comes back to process. And the single biggest mistake we see businesses make, skipping the discovery phase.
The discovery phase, why is that so critical? Some might see it as just meetings, delaying the real work.
That view is completely wrong.
Yeah.
Skipping discovery is like trying to build, say, a new physical store without planning the layout, without checking building codes, figuring out where customers will walk.
Setting yourself up to fail before you even lay a brick.
Exactly. You wouldn't do it for a physical build, so why do it for a complex software build? Discovery is where you get certainty. It's where you achieve alignment.
What does that look like in practice? What happens during discovery?
It starts with listening. Genuinely understand the client's real goals, not just we need a PWA, but drilling down to the measurable objective, like our mobile conversion rate is stuck below 1.5%. Our goal is to increase mobile sales by 20% within 12 months. That's a concrete target.
Okay, so understanding the why, but what about the what? The technical details. Surely good developers spot potential issues.
Not necessarily, not without dedicated discovery. This is where you uncover those hidden requirements. The things nobody thought to mention initially.
Like what? Give me an example.
Does this new PWA need to talk to a maybe 10-year-old inventory system? Is there a specific, slightly unusual point of sale system it has to integrate with seamlessly? If you don't ask these probing questions up front, during discovery, these things don't just cause delays later. They can completely derail the project. They explode. That's where your budget blowouts come from.
Ah, okay. So discovery prevents those nasty surprises by forcing those conversations early.
Precisely. It ensures everyone, the business owner, the C-suite, the development team like us at C9, is crystal clear on what needs to be built, why it needs to be built, and how it fits into the bigger picture. You're solving the right problem.
So skipping it. It really is a false economy. Saving a few hours up front costs you months, maybe months down the track.
Without a doubt. Discovery isn't just about requirements. It's foundational for building trust. It establishes that true partnership needed for a successful custom software project.
Okay, so discovery leads to clarity, prevents blowouts. How does that translate into pricing? If indicative quotes are unreliable shots in the dark.
Then discovery-based pricing is the reliable alternative because the estimate, the price, comes after we've done the discovery work. It's based on validated requirements, not assumptions.
So more accurate budgeting for the CFO.
Much more accurate.
Yeah.
And we avoid false precision. We wouldn't say feature X will take exactly 37.5 hours. That's unrealistic in custom builds. Instead, we estimate in realistic blocks. Designing and building feature X looks like it will take about 1 week of focused effort. That includes thinking time, coding, testing, guffers. It's a realistic range.
And transparency is key here, I assume.
Absolutely critical. Every assumption underpinning that estimate needs to be clearly spelled out. For example, this estimate for Phase 1 assumes we only need to integrate with Payment Gateway Y, and the product catalog sync is for up to 500 SKUs.
So the business knows exactly what's included and what's not for that price. No ambiguity.
Correct. It prevents those misunderstandings down the line where someone says, oh, I thought that included integration with our obscure legacy system.
That makes sense. And you mentioned Phase 1. That hints at another benefit of this approach, phasing.
Yes, and this is often really powerful for businesses managing budgets carefully. The discovery phase doesn't just define the whole project. It helps identify a minimum viable product, or MVP, Phase 1.
The core essentials to get started.
Exactly. The smallest set of features that delivers real value quickly and solves the biggest initial pain point, maybe that's just smooth browsing, cart, and checkout in the PWA. So perhaps phase 1 costs, let's say, $36,000. It focuses purely on that core functionality
Yeah.
and might go live relatively quickly, maybe in a couple months.
Which means the business starts seeing results sooner. Maybe increased mobile sales start coming in.
Precisely. You get a functioning, potentially revenue-generating asset out there fast. You achieve an early return on investment. And that early success, that early revenue, can then help fund phase 2. Maybe phase 2 adds customer accounts, wish lists, push notifications. Perhaps that's another $24,000.
So you spread the cost, reduce the upfront risk, and build based on what you learned from phase 1 actually being used by customers.
That's the power of it. It makes development iterative, responsive. You're not gambling the entire budget on one big bang launch based on assumptions made months ago. You build, measure, learn, and enhance.
Okay, so let's recap. We've got PWA technology offering a great solution for mobile UX pain points.
Right. App-like experience, fast, offline capabilities, lower maintenance.
But the tech alone isn't enough. You need that disciplined, discovery-led process.
Absolutely.
Jenny?
Strategic planning, phase development based on real understanding. That's key.
And that combination, the right tech plus the right process. That's how businesses, especially here in Australia, can move from that mobile frustration to actual measurable growth.
It shifts software development from being a cost center headache to being a strategic investment.
So thinking about everything we've covered, the sources we looked at really highlight how quickly technology and customer expectations change.
They certainly do. Constant evolution.
Which leads to a bit of a provocative thought for you, our listener, to take away. Look at your own business, your current tech strategy.
Are you treating software development like you're following a fixed, rigid recipe? Which, as we've discussed, is pretty risky in today's world.
Are you approaching it as a controlled, evolving investment, something designed for continuous improvement and sustainable growth?
It's a fundamental difference in mindset.
Definitely something to mull over. For all the Australian business owners and C-level executives listening, if boosting mobile sales and getting your technology strategy right is on your agenda,
then we really encourage you to take that next crucial step. Don't fall into the quick quote trap.
if you want to solve those mobile UX challenges with a proven, discovery-led approach using powerful tech like PWAs,
Then get in touch with C9. We are Australia's leading custom software, apps, integration, and database developer company. We live and breathe this stuff.
you can find out much more about our discovery process, PWAs, and how we partner with businesses like yours over at our website.
That's www.c9.com.au.
And finally, if you found this deep dive useful, please do click that follow button wherever you're listening.
And share it with colleagues or other business leaders who you think could benefit from this discussion.
We'll be back soon with another deep dive. Thanks for tuning in.